The Galactic Military Academy's final examination was designed to test strategic thinking across all species. The scenario was brutally complex, a simulated invasion of a human-allied world by a coalition of 3 hostile empires. Students were given the full parameters: enemy fleet compositions, defensive capabilities, logistical networks, and political constraints. They were asked to design a defensive strategy. The examination was administered by Professor Kethlos, an ancient Zalar who had evaluated military minds for 4 centuries. This year, one of his students was human, Commander Maya Torres, a tactical prodigy from Earth Defense Command. Maya received the scenario parameters and spent 2 hours analyzing the situation in the simulation chamber. She ran probability calculations, examined logistics, studied the enemy formations. The other students, representatives from a dozen advanced species, worked frantically, filling holographic displays with defensive strategies. When the time came to present her solution, Maya approached the examination panel with an expression that made Professor Kethlos uneasy. Not confident, not nervous. Something else. Something he couldn't quite identify. "Professor," Maya said, "I have my strategy prepared." "Present it," Kethlos commanded. "Before I do," Maya continued, "I need to clarify something. This scenario assumes hypothetical parameters based on outdated intelligence about those 3 empires. My strategy works perfectly against the empires as they were 5 years ago. But those empires have evolved. Their fleet compositions have changed. Their logistics networks have been reorganized. Their political structures have shifted." Kethlos felt the first stirring of alarm. "How would you know this?" Maya smiled. "Because I've been tracking them. Earth has been collecting intelligence on these specific empires for 18 months. We have current data, real intelligence, not simulations." She activated her own holographic display, and detailed information filled the chamber. Current fleet positions, updated defensive capabilities, recent political developments. Information that should have been classified. Information the Academy shouldn't possess. And based on actual current parameters, Maya continued, "The strategy one was about to present is obsolete. So I developed a different one instead. One based on real-world conditions." Kethlos leaned forward. "And what would you recommend?" "First," Maya said, "we don't defend the world. That's a losing strategy. The coalition has superior numbers and logistics. Direct defense is futile. Instead, we strike their supply lines before they even reach the contested world. Here, here, and here." She highlighted 3 locations. Simultaneous attacks on their fuel depots, ammunition stores, and command vessels. "We cripple them before the main engagement." She paused, studying the holographic display. "Second, we mobilize the world's civilian population as an auxiliary defense force. Not through conscription, but through coordination. We prepare them for active resistance. We train them in asymmetrical warfare. We make occupation so costly that the coalition cannot sustain it." The examination panel sat in stunned silence. "Third," Maya continued, "we establish hidden contingency forces on 3 neighboring worlds. Not as defensive assets, but as offensive platforms. When the coalition overextends during the occupation phase, we strike from unexpected vectors." She turned to face Kethlos directly. "So, Professor, I need to ask, do you want me to run this strategy live to show you it works? Or would you prefer I just show you the debrief from when we already tested it?" The chamber erupted in confusion. The other students exchanged bewildered looks. One of the Centauri representatives stood. "You're claiming you've already conducted this operation?" "Not the full operation," Maya clarified. "We ran a scaled simulation using actual intelligence data 3 weeks ago. Full results are in my encrypted files. I can decrypt them for examination if needed." Professor Kethlos stood slowly. "Commander Torres, are you telling this examination panel that Earth has already solved this hypothetical scenario using real-world conditions?" "Yes, sir," Maya replied. "And more than that, we've already established defensive positions against the actual coalition. We've already disrupted their supply lines. We've already mobilized the civilian defense network. The contested world is already secured against the scenario you presented. "This is impossible," another examiner protested. "The intelligence in your scenario is current as of this morning." "Exactly," Maya said calmly, "which is why I knew to bring my own intelligence. Your scenario was current. My response was based on what will happen next. There's a difference between analyzing hypothetical warfare and executing actual defense strategies." Keflos sat back down slowly. "What are you saying, Commander?" "I'm saying," Maya replied, "that humans don't wait for simulations to finish before we act on the lessons they teach. We learn from scenarios, but we prepare for reality. So while other species were developing theoretical defenses in your examination, my civilization was preparing actual defenses." She stepped back. "My final answer isn't a strategy, Professor. It's a status report. The war you're testing hypothetically, we've already won it. In the real world. 3 weeks ago." The examination chamber fell silent as every species represented understood a terrifying truth. Humans didn't just solve problems. They solved them before anyone else even realized there was a problem to solve.